Shalom, shalom. It's the brother Wiz. Huh. Here to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Shemi Yahushai. Right, coming at y'all with part two, man. Part two of what is fear of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, we went in on it last week, man. We went in a little overtime, as a matter of fact. Had some technical difficulties at the end, so hey, we bringing it back once again the very next week, right? And I'm gonna let the brother get straight in there.
Man, fear the Lord, right? It's one of the first important things. The first important thing in this truth is to fear the Lord. So, I mean, if you don't fear Him, I mean, you basically saying you don't care. You fear nothing, as Jake say, right? I'm not scared of nothing. It's Jakes out here that do say, I don't fear God. It was a woman I talked to before, like last year, so called last year. She said, yeah, I don't fear God. You know, that's a scary thing to not to feel the creator of who created your whole lineage. All right. So let's go to kick it off with First Peter chapter 4, verse 17. All right. First Peter chapter 4, verse 17. All right. It reads, "For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God." Right? For that time coming. We talk about, the heathen gonna get slayed, and Esau and the Elamites and the Hamites, the Japhi, they all gonna get slayed. But the order to even see that, I mean, your judgment has to be thorough, you know, or you're gonna be slayed with them. So that time coming, we're gonna get judged first. So that should automatically kick your fear of the Most High God, because judgment is placed on the children of Israel first, because we know better. We supposed to know better. I mean, He gave us these laws and statutes and these commandments, right? Jacob, right? Let me bring that up. Psalms 147. Salakia for the noise. Gotta get some air in here. It's blazing outside, right? Um, Psalms chapter 147 and verse 19. It says, He showeth His word unto Jacob, His statutes and His judgments unto Israel, right? He have not dealt so with any nation, and as for His judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord, right? And for His judgments, they have not known them, but they going to when that time is coming. So all these laws and these statutes, these judgments, hey, it was all given to the so-called Black and Hispanic and Native American man, because we supposed to know better. So let's go back to 1 Peter 4 and 17. It says, "For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first began at us, what shall the end be of them that obeyed not the gospel of God?" So what shall the end be of those that don't fear the Most High? Because people who don't fear the Most High, they continue to sin and sin and sin. They continue to just go off. They don't want to repent. And if they do repent, they're not really sincere, just because they don't know who the Most High is, right? Reading on, it says, "And if the righteous scarcely be saved," right? And this should be, humbling to brothers that think they on fire, or suppose they may be on fire, right? Because even your righteousness, our righteousness is as filthy rags. But even if the Most High, declares that you're righteous, hey, you scarcely gonna be saved by a hair. So that should automatically, because I mean His judgments, the persons, right? Um, I'm gonna read that again. "And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?" Right. So where shall the sinner appear? Where shall the person that doesn't fear the Most High God, right, and His Son, where should they be at? Right. But you got to.
And I just want to piggy or let me back off your point that you made about what I'm saying, a sister saying that she don't fear God, right? Because this is not nothing new. People have been uh, uh lacking the fear of the Most High for a long time. I mean, that's what the Judgment Day is for. right? It's for all those who thought that the Most High was something to play with, including us. That's why, hey, like the brother said, is the judgment gonna start with us. And if it's gonna start with us, who actually know about the Most High, who actually believe that we fear the Most High, how much more so is that judgment gonna come down on those who don't care at all? This is the book of Psalms, chapter 14 and verse 1. It's the classic. It says, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God, right? The fool has said that. And a lot of times you can say this without actually saying there is no God. How you move shows you that you don't fear the Most High. You don't even believe He exists. For somebody to come into the truth and fall out of the truth for working on the Sabbath, you don't believe that there is a God. I mean, the same God who made King Solomon the richest man of basically of all time, and that's not even what King Solomon prayed for. But yet, you want to sin against the Most High, sin worthy of death, for what? An extra $60, $70. Just imagine that. No fear of the Most High at all, right? And that's why the Lord said this about those types of men, the men who know better and don't do better, because you really just you spitting in the face. I'm gonna get that. Let's get that in Hebrews chapter 10, right? Because people like to claim, "Oh Christ, I'm covered in the blood of Jesus." They love to say that. Oh, I heard Jesus is my man before. I done heard Jesus is my boyfriend. All of this other stuff, right? Let's see what the Bible says. This is Hebrews chapter 10 and verse number 26. It says, for if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sin. So Christ didn't die for me to find out that I committed adultery back then, and then for me to do it again after I have this knowledge. He didn't die for that. He didn't give his body up as a living sacrifice for me to break the Sabbath, even though I know I'm not supposed to break the Sabbath. Right? I'm gonna drop down to verse 28. He that despised Moses' law died without mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses. So back then, it wasn't no repentance. It wasn't no, I'm sorry. It was, he broke the Sabbath. Oh, he committed idolatry. He committed fornication. He getting out of there. Straight up and down, under 2 or 3 witnesses. That's how it was back then. Reading on, of how much sorer punishment, suppose ye, shall he be thought worthy, who have trodden under foot the Son of God, and have counted the blood of the covenant wherewith he was sanctified an unholy thing, and have done despite unto the Spirit of grace. Right? Verse 30, I'm going to drop down to verse 31 finish it off. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. Right? It said, back then you would have died with no mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses, which is, I mean, dude, for some of the things that we have done that we found out later on in life when we came into this truth, oh, that was wrong when I did that. I was wrong when I ate that. I was wrong when I celebrated that. We would have been dead, right? But yet Christ offered himself up by the will of the Most High so that, hey, everybody can get another chance. Now, after that chance is given to you, how much more sore punishment you think you worthy of? You just take that chance. You just ball it up. I wish I had a piece. I'm gonna use this bag. This your chance. You just take it up. You just ball it up, throw it. How you think the Most High look at somebody like that? I mean, I didn't seen it. I didn't seen the Most High judge a man. Man, he didn't even think it was possible. You know, I didn't seen men speak against men of the Lord. A specific person I know, I won't say their name, was telling me a story about how when they was coming into the truth and doing this and doing that, handling their business in righteousness, they couldn't get their Saturdays off at work. They telling their boss, hey, I need my Saturdays, I need my Saturdays. The boss giving literally everybody else their Saturdays off, but this particular person, they wouldn't give them their Saturdays off. Hey, the Lord jammed up that man's health. He destroyed his marriage. He destroyed his career. He took every single. His health care was so expensive from the Most High jamming it up. He drained his 401k, all because he was vexing somebody who wanted to serve the Most High. I mean, look at the plagues of Egypt. If that don't make you fear the Most High, what does? They still finding remains of of like the shields and the pieces of the chariots at the bottom of the Red Sea to this day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these are things you can Google if you don't believe. You know, we talking about that same God right now. So I want to get this last precept for those people who know better and don't want to do better And this can go for me. Hey, I'm not exempt to this either. This is Sirach chapter 26 and verse number 28. It says, "There be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry." Right? A man of war that suffereth poverty, and men of understanding that are not set by. He said those two things, the Lord said that grieves his heart. But this last thing makes him angry. And one that returneth from righteousness to sin. The Lord prepares such an one for the sword. Right? This is, listen, they like to say blood in, blood out in the street and all this stuff. Hey, look, it's blood in, blood out in this truth, bro. Ain't no getting out. Ain't no hey, you know how in the movies, you know what I'm saying, them old movies where when they was gang banging and all that, somebody get jumped in, they talking about I don't want to do this no more. Ain't no I don't want to do this no more. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no dropping your flag, ain't none of that going on. It's the same thing in the truth. Ain't no dropping your flag. Ain't no you know what I'm saying? I ain't think that the persecution would be like that. I ain't think I would be hated of all men like that. You know what I'm saying? Let's regroup. Ain't none of that, man. You know, so keep this precept in mind. Sirach 26 and 28, man. If you in this truth, you in it. You done signed your name. You know what I'm saying? You done signed your name. Ain't no eraser. Well, with that, I yield. You got it.
All right. Yeah. I wanted to bring that out too. That 10 and 31, because it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Lord, man. His judgments cruel, man. His judgments are cruel. Let me get this. Uh, I'm gonna go to Psalms 119. His judgment's cruel, man. Psalms 119 and verse 120. It says, "My flesh trembleth for fear of thee, and I am afraid of thy judgments." And this was King David, man. He said, "My flesh trembleth of fear of thee, and I am afraid of thy judgments." Nobody is afraid of the Most High judgments. And then when the judgments do happen, they be reprobates and think like, they getting afflicted, or they think it's Mother Nature. They think it's some other creator when really it's the Most High God plaguing them. Right? I recently seen a video. I believe it was yesterday. The brother got jammed up, man. He has no fingers. He has one leg. All he has is thumbs. His face bubbled up. He fell in like something hot. The Lord had an angel to push him them in like a lake of fire or something that worked. And he jammed up, man. He lost his kids, his girl, like his he ain't got no friends. Hey, and he not in the truth. So imagine if he was in the truth and he disobeyed the Most High God. That punishment is worse. So how can you not have the fear of the Lord when literally he has so many ways to destroy you? He doesn't have to just break your body, or he could just destroy you mentally and spiritually. He just have you have anxiety. You don't need to smoke weed to have anxiety. To Jakes and Eve out there, you don't have to do drugs to have anxiety and panic attacks and this. No, the Lord could just put that spirit on you. The Lord could just have a situation to come on you, and now next thing you know, you just worried, you shaking and frantic. Let me get that, because that's how the Egyptians, like the brother was saying, like the Egyptians, man, they was seeing things, hallucinating. Let's bring that out. Um, should be Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon. If I'm not mistaken, it should be Wisdom of Solomon 11. Real quick. Alright, Wisdom of Solomon, Salakia. I gotta find that, man. It'll be Wisdom of Solomon chapter. Let me see. Solomon chapter 17. I'm gonna start at, let me see. Man. I'm gonna start at I'm gonna start at one. Right? It says, for great art thy judgments and cannot be expressed. Therefore, unnurtured souls have erred. Right? It says, for great art thy judgments and cannot be expressed. His judgments cannot be expressed. Yeah, I may be expressing some things that the Most High done, but that don't mean I can express a lot of things that I haven't seen. I mean, it gets deep, right? It gets deep, right? Read on verse 2, it says, for when unrighteous men thought to oppress the holy nation, they being shut up in their houses, the prisoners of darkness, and fettered with the bonds of a long night, lay there exiled from the external providence, right? Speaking on the Egyptians. And it's going to happen again to these heat, and it's going to happen again to the so-called black man, so-called black woman. You want to partake in spiritual Egypt. Hey, it's the same thing that happened to the Egyptians. The same thing is going to happen to the heathens, and you Israelites that want to join, that want to love this world, right? Verse 3, it says, for while they supposed to lie, hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions, so like apparitions, right? So they was hallucinating, man. They was seeing things. Just imagine it's pitch black, right? It just pitch dark. You don't see nothing, right? You don't see anything, and you hearing stuff, you seeing things, you itching and scratching. I mean, how can you not feel the Most High God? I mean, He could do all these things. He do all these things. I'm gonna jump up to verse 1 again, because I'm gonna read that again, because it says, for great art thy judgments and cannot be expressed. I can't really express. You reading the scriptures, man. It's so much other things that's not accounted of what happened to the Egyptians. Far as just detail of one man and then the other man and then the next man and then the woman and then the children. You can't really break it down for the things that they have seen. All we can know is we talk to our forefathers in the kingdom, Lord willing. All right. I'm gonna read on. It says, verse 4, it says, for neither might the corner that held them keep them from fear. So the Lord can have you in a corner just like a little kid. They be talking about it's the boogeyman and this and that, and they had it in the covers thinking they safe. That's the spirit of the Egyptians. That's the spirit of what Israelites that's not keeping the commandments and fearing the Most High God. And today, in this present evil world, man, gonna have you in a corner for fear, and it cannot save you, right? But noises as of waters falling down sounded about them, and sad visions appeared unto them with heavy countenance. It says sad visions. Brothers gonna be talking about they seeing demons, man. Seeing shaped sculptures, man. We not trying to make this a horror movie, but it can be. Because the Lord can do whatever he wants, man. Yes, we know about his mercy and his grace, his love and kindness. Hey, but we need to know about how a man of a war that he is, how that he's able to execute judgment, man. Because the Lord not playing. We don't have that much time, right? I'm gonna keep reading on that. I'm gonna bring out one more precept. No power of the fire might give them light, neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten that horribly night, right? And when the Lord casts darkness, there's no other light that can give that place light, to give this world light. Right? Only if the Most High says, okay, let it be light, and there will be light. But if he doesn't say it, if he doesn't command it, there's no light at all. And none can save you. Because you in the hands of the Most High. Right? Hebrews 10 and 31. It's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the Most High God, man. It's a fearful thing. Right? I got one more precept. Right? Speaking on that, because the Lord's going to cast utter darkness. It's going to happen again. Let's get Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Oh, um, due to people that does know that all hell breaking loose, food shortages. They telling us to prepare for no reason. I just read a recent article, probably like 30 minutes ago. They telling you to prepare, right? They saying it's gonna get much worse. They telling you it's gonna get worse, right? Uh, Trump got his ear popped. You know what I'm saying? Trump got his ear, got his ear chopped, and supposedly that had start some frictions, but not that long, because they really think America gonna last long, man. Right? So I'm gonna bring this out. Ecclesiastes chapter 12. All right. Ecclesiastes chapter 12. I'm gonna start at verse 3. It says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble," right? Start at 1, but I'm gonna start at 3.
I'm not sure what happened with the brothers, right? But we gonna keep it coming. Lord willing, he hop back on. Right, but like he going into it, man. These judgments in here, it ain't no
All
joke.
right. Y'all can hear me, right?
You good.
Okay, because somebody was calling me, right? I'm gonna read that again. It says, "And the door shall be shut in the streets, and when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low." Right? And it's speaking about the shutdown of what's gonna happen to this present evil world, man. What's gonna happen to Babylon the Great. So it's a fearful thing if you're not protected of the Most High God, if you don't fear the Most High God, if you're not keeping His commandments. Hey, He's not gonna protect you. You're not gonna be under His shadow. You're gonna be literally cast in darkness. There's gonna be no food, no water, right? You're not gonna hear no voice, no man. If you do, it's somebody screaming, right? But it's gonna be a complete shutdown in this place, man. So if you don't fear the Most High God and the things that He's gonna do and the things that He's doing now, I mean, you just gonna be caught out there, man. But you gotta.
So we can't hear you if you're talking.
So like, just wanted to grab a quick precept before I pass it along, right? Just to really give a good overview of what exactly it looks like when you do fear the Most High, right? Because we talking about what it looks like when you don't. But there are scriptures that show you, hey, if you fear the Lord, you will do these types of things. You fear the Lord, you'll believe and you'll move these types of ways, right? This is Sirach chapter 1 and verse number, what I want to start with, right? It's Sirach chapter 1 and verse number 20. It says the root of wisdom is to fear the Lord. So the root of it, wisdom comes from the fear of the Lord. Understanding that, hearing about all of these mass shootings, hearing about all these wars, hearing about people being kidnapped, ravished, all these different things. Understanding that that comes from the Lord and having fear that, man, He could do that to me if I don't do what I'm supposed to do. That's the root of wisdom. Read on. And the branches thereof are long life. It says, the fear of the Lord driveth away sins, and where it is present, it turneth away wrath. Right? So somebody who is hot headed does not fear the Most High. Right? Somebody who is quick to be contentious, quick to do these types of things. Anybody who commits sin and just, hey, they just kind of cool with it. They're going to do what they're going to do, and it's going to be what it's going to be. And nobody going to judge them for it. They have no fear of the Most High. Right? I want to read this in Sirach chapter, let me see, this is what I want. Lie, that's not what I want. Right, I'm gonna keep going on that. Right, it explains what it looks like when a man has wrath. Right, a furious man cannot be justified, for the sway of his fury shall be his destruction. So your anger, you being hot headed, is actually what's gonna get you jammed up. Right, you thinking that you don't have the fear of the Most High. You think you like Nebuchadnezzar. Right, where you just throwing your weight around. You do what you want to do, not understanding that the Most High is in control of all of these things. Right, so that's something we have to remember, is that the fear of the Lord driveth away sins and it turneth away wrath. But you got it.
So like if I can hop in there real fast, right? I'm gonna go, at a classic. Brothers always go to, Psalms 111 and verse 10, right? But it's so heavy and so spiritual, right, through the spirit, right? So like you, 1 second, right? I'm gonna pull it up. All right, but this is the book of Salakia. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 111 and verse 10. Right? It says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Right? And a lot of times we say, oh, fear of the Lord is just keeping the commandments, right? And which it is, right? But you got to think, like, when it comes down to the Old Testament, and when it comes to the New Testament, at least like the way of thinking, right? They said something in the New Testament that was so heavy. I'm gonna get it real fast in Matthew the 6th chapter. All right, brothers know the classic, the Lord's Prayer. All right, but Matthew chapter 6, right? I'm gonna start at verse 6. It says, "But thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret reward thee openly." Man, right? One thing that a lot of our people forget is that the Most High is a parent, a damn good parent at that, man. Let me tell you, every time you go to Walmart and you see those horrible kids, man, running around the store, that's a parent that don't chastise their child. That's a child that doesn't understand the fear of their parent, right? When you hear these white kids, man, sometimes, man, I hear the way that these white kids speak back to their parents. I heard a white boy tell his mom to shut up the other day. And she didn't even tell him not to tell her to shut up. She kept trying to reason with the boy, right? Horrible parents create horrible children, man, right? When a child doesn't listen to their parents, they grow up to be devious and evil, right? They grow up to do all manner of concupiscence. What's the word? The R word. Brothers know what I'm talking about, man. They grow up to be evil men and women, and undesirable women, right? Women, I can't. I'm trying to clean up my speech, Salakia, so we don't get shadow banned again. All right, brothers, get my point, man. That's because a parent doesn't chastise their children. A bad child doesn't understand to fear his parents, man. Well, the Most High is different. The Most High is a different parent than a lot of the white community. He's a different parent than a lot of the Hispanic community, than a lot of the black community, right? What's that whore's name? Look up real fast, Erykah Badu and her daughter, right? Did y'all see the picture that they took together?
You talking about that old pic with the jeans on?
Yeah.
And I seen that.
When her and her daughter, we ain't gonna pull it up for righteousness' sake. Her and her daughter, they both took pictures showing their ass, like turned around trying to. This woman is 50. How old is Erykah Badu? Can a brother look that up real fast? I'm gonna try to look it up real fast.
She definitely in her 50s.
I think she's 50.
Like late 40s or early.
53, right? Erykah Badu is 53 years old, and she teaching her daughter, right, to show her ass on camera, right, for the entire world. This, like, she's not just a regular woman, right? She's a famous woman. So the entire planet is seeing this 53-year-old mother teach her daughter how to show her ass, man. That's a bad parent. That's the exact opposite of what the Most High is, man. Right? The Most High teaches you wisdom through fear. I'm going to read it again. It says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, man. Right? Because the chastening that the Most High puts you through, right? The situations that the Most High put you in are what show you why you shouldn't have made the decisions to get yourself in that place in the first place, man. Those always know the classic in Hosea chapter 6. I'm going to go to it real fast. I'm going to go to Hosea. Right, so like, give me 1 second. Right, Hosea chapter, not 6, Hosea chapter 4. Right, I'm going to start at verse 14. It says, "I will not punish your daughters when they commit whoredom, nor your spouses when they commit adultery. For themselves are separated with whores, and they sacrifice with harlots. Therefore, the people that understand not shall fall. Anytime the Lord takes chastening away, you are bound for destruction because then you have nobody to teach you anything. The problem in our communities now is that there is nobody to teach us anything. And because we don't have parents to teach us anything, we don't have teachers, football coaches, or anybody to teach us anything, the Lord has to teach us now. Right? You want to know what the fear of the Lord looks like, man? The fear of the Lord looks like living in Chicago, living in Milwaukee, living in Detroit. Have y'all been to Baltimore out? Have you seen how dirty it is in Baltimore out? I mean, it's disgusting. That's the fear of the Lord, man. Right? The fear of the Lord is not knowing, like a candle might fall in your house. Next thing you know, you grabbing a strap to get up. That's the fear of the Lord, man. Right? And you know what that teaches you to do? It teaches you to not make the dumb decisions. Like put yourself in a position for niggas to want to creep in your house and murder you. It teaches you not to go and sleep with some random woman that's married to a brother, right? So that he's not going to come and break down your door and kill you in the middle of the night. Right? Go and ask a drug addict why they shouldn't use drugs. They're going to know why, right? That's the fear of the Lord, man. Right? Destruction, perishing. And that is the beginning of you making smart decisions, which is wisdom. I'm going to go back to Psalms real fast. All right, so watch. Right? It says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever, man. Right? It says a good understanding have all they that do his commandments. Now you got two types of people that do his commandments. Right? You got who we'll call the Jews, then you got who we'll call the Gentiles. The Jews meaning the people who have always kept the Lord's law, who have always made good decisions, who have always made wise decisions, right? Didn't go and choose to be whores or drug addicts, right? But they always chose the right thing to do, right? And by them looking at everybody else that has made horrible decisions, they have learned, right? Why? So like it says that they have learned so like a good understanding. By seeing somebody that's on drugs will push you not to do drugs. I don't know if brothers remember back in the day, man, but they had them commercials about smoking weed, right? And you have a nigga laying on a couch and he'd be flat as a pancake. You know what that kept kids from doing? That kept kids from getting high. That kept kids from doing drugs. That kept them from smoking weed, man. That abusive ass parent that used to beat the hell out of their children and assault their children in a manner that is not comely, right? That taught them that they shouldn't overdrink, right? Some people learn through the mistakes of others, right? It says a good understanding have all they that keep his commandments. His praise endureth forever. However, even though you have some people learn through the mistakes of others, you have other people, what we'll call the Gentiles, that have to learn through their own mistakes. They have to learn through being a drunk and assaulting their children in a manner that is not comely. They have to learn through going to jail, through going to prison and being molested themselves. So like I can't say molested. I recant my statement. And being assaulted themselves in prison, right? They have to learn through getting shot. The brother Sam was just talking earlier about the brother that ain't got no hands and no thumbs. They have to learn through judgment. They have to learn through the fear of the Most High, man. Right? That's the fear of the Lord. That's wisdom. Making the right decisions because you understand what comes with the wrong decision. You understand the repercussions of doing something stupid and doing something dumb. You understand the penalty for going after the flesh. Brothers got it.
Con, that's a mighty point. You know what I'm saying? He's the ultimate father, man. Don't nobody want to listen to him. Exactly what they got to learn from judgment. And the crazy thing is, they get judged, and Israel so stiff-necked, they still don't learn. They still don't learn. And the brother, he maybe, but he may not think that was the Most High God. He may think, hey, it just happened to him. All right? Most High just breaking everything down He think like, hey, that's just life. You just got caught. And really the Most High got up with him. And that's the scary thing, man. I'm gonna bring up Hebrews chapter 12, to what the brother was saying. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 7. Verse 6, it says, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth and scourges every son whom he receive. Right? The brother, hey man, he's the ultimate father, man. He gonna take care of you. He gonna whoop you if you out of line. Right? He gonna make sure you straight. Right? If you you know what I'm saying, do what you need to do, he gonna give you your allowance, man. If you doing what you need to do, if you consistent, gonna give you an allowance. Right? And whatever he say, he means it. He gonna do it. He not gonna change his mind. How man, right? You know your mother or your father say you do this, you get what you get, and then they be like, nah, you know what? Nah, wait another week. But you just told me today. You know what I'm saying? He not finna change his mind, right? Read on, if ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the father chasteneth not? So what son is he whom the father chasteneth not? So the Lord just got you just living life. You just doing whatever you want. And he saved you for that time when he's going to judge the whole earth. And that's a scary thing, man. Right? He saved you for the time when he's going to judge all nations. When Yahweh Shai stepped foot on earth. That's crazy, man. Right? That's wild. Let's go to I'm going to read on down to that. But if ye without chastisement were of all partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. Furthermore, we have fathers of our own flesh, which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? Right? I mean, you obeying your parents, and they ain't telling you to keep the commandments of the Most High God. But when the Most High actually wakes you up, right, and give you the knowledge and wisdom and understanding, I mean, why not obey him? You obeyed your father and mother, and they wasn't telling you to keep the commandments. But I mean, if you don't want to do that, I mean, and we could just say how it is. I mean, you're just gonna be caught out there, man. Right? I don't know. You got to rest on that.
I mean, brothers bringing out mighty points, right? Especially understanding that the Most High is a parent. I mean, we read, even a Christian tell you, "Oh, this is my father," and they'll say Abba, they'll say whatever word for father they want to say, but they don't truly understand that a father, if this is your father, then you are his son, you are his daughter. He don't have time to be friends with you. He don't have time to be, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, I remember in the world, man, I knew dudes, man, they mama used to smoke with them, used to hotbox the car with them. You know what I'm saying? They mama used to, I remember Boosie went viral for having strippers at his son's birthday party or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was something vile, right? Something that just wasn't, shouldn't even be uttered, right? Them type of things is not how the Most High get down. And the Most High does not change like a good father doesn't. If he said, hey, do it this one way or else, it's do it that one way or else. Right? I mean, Christ came preaching the same thing. I'm going to get this in Matthew chapter 5. Right? We got to understand that same law that we was discussing earlier that you used to die but at the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses for, that same law is still in effect today. Right? This is Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17. These are red letters, meaning that it's Christ speaking. It says, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Right? So the greatest man to ever walk this planet even said that he came to do the law. He came to make sure that this law gets done. That's what fulfill means. It means to complete. Right? He came to do the law, and we claim to be lovers of him. We claim to be lovers of the Most High. We got to do the law too. Now, the wages of sin is death. Right? It's a lot of different ways to die. I mean, the Bible talk about famines, talk about pestilence, it talk about murder, it talk about I was watching a video, I think it was about the 40 martyrs of like Sebasti, something like that, where it was like 40 men who loved the Most High, and they was put in a position where they could potentially freeze to death. Right, standing outside with no clothes on, and they just throw you in an icy river. all because you love the Most High. Now, if those men were willing to go through those types of things for the Most High, then how much worse would the judgment have been for them? I mean, that means there is a judgment worse than freezing to death in a cold body of water. That's what that means. That means they would rather deal with that than deal with the judgments of the Most High. And I'm going to get a precept on that. Right? This is Sirach, chapter 2, and verse number 17. It says, they that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts. Your heart is your mind. The deep desires. You'll prepare your mind like, hey, I'm going to have to die for this truth. I'm going to have to go to prison for this truth. Hey, I might have to stand boldly in front of a king like the 3 holy children did for this truth. Right? It says, reading on, and humble their souls in his sight, saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy. Those who fear the Lord understand, I would rather fall into the hands of men. I would rather get pulled over by the angriest police officer I can run into than to play with the Most High. That's what men who fear the Lord will understand. They'll prepare their hearts with that thought. Right? I mean, all these different accounts of things that happened to men who wanted to play with the Most High. What happened to Korah? Let's get that account. And then brothers got it. Right? Because these things are written for our learning, according to Romans 15:4. Right? And I'm going to just get straight to the point. We ain't going to read the whole thing, right? This is Numbers chapter 16 and verse 28. It says, and Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of mine own mind. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord hath not sent me. So he put his relationship with the Most High on blast. Like, hey, I'm not even a man of God. If these evil men who came up to me, accusing me of these things, telling me I'm not, they wanted his spot, right? Really just being covetous, right? And Moses said, man, I'm not a man of the Most High if they die if they die naturally. If they just die in their sleep, they just don't wake up one day. I'm not a man of the Lord. Now let's see what happened. Verse 30, but if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord. Right? Provoking the Most High means you have no fear of him. To even play with Moses like that, I couldn't even picture it in my head. To play with somebody that the Most High set as the first king over Israel. Right? If you got ears to hear, let's keep going. Verse 31, and it came to pass, as he made an end of speaking all these words. This is literally after he said the last syllable of the words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up in their houses, and all the men that appertained unto Korah and all their goods. Right? And I'm gonna drop down verse 35. And there came out a fire from the Lord and consumed the 250 men that offered incense. So imagine just seeing 250 people get burnt up in front of you. You just seen a sinkhole, what we would call a sinkhole. Brother Tawar, could you pull up a picture of a sinkhole on your phone? Because I want y'all to really put into perspective how crazy of a judgment this is, just to unfold before your eye. I mean, we have let's say it's a school shooting or something like that, and eight children perish. I mean, they're gonna talk about that for years. Imagine 250 people die at one time in one place, and everybody saw it. Everybody was a witness. You saw a big hole open up in the ground. You got that picture? Just imagine that. Look outside your room right now, wherever you at, outside. Look in the middle of the street in the intersection. Imagine it's just the concrete just drop out of nowhere, and all the cars go down. And we didn't seen all the apocalypse movies, the 2012, the Day After Tomorrows. Right? We didn't seen some crazy things that it seemed like it only can happen in a movie. This really happened. The Red Sea really happened. You can look, bro. Sodom and Gomorrah really happened. They're still finding sulfur deposits and pieces of burnt up material there to this day. And that happened thousands of years ago. Right? So I'm gonna get this last precept, and then the brother got it. But we really gotta truly understand who we playing with. This is Sirach chapter 1 and verse number 2. It says, "Who can number the sand of the sea, and the drops of rain, and the days of eternity?" Who can do that? What human being you know that knows exactly how much is gonna rain the next time it rains? That knows exactly how much sand is on the sea? Who has the ability to know that type of stuff? Reading on, it says, "Who can find out the height of heaven?" How far does the sky go? You know, what's really going on here? It says, "And the breadth of the earth, and the deep, and wisdom," right? And I'm gonna just get to the point. It says, verse number 8, verse number 7, "Unto whom hath the knowledge of wisdom been made manifest? Who hath understood her great experience? There is one wise and greatly to be feared, the Lord sitting upon his throne." He answered his own question. He said, "Only the Lord on his throne can know all these things." The Lord is great, wise and greatly to be feared. Right? So we got to really put in perspective, like I said earlier, in Psalms 14 and 1, when it says, "The fool is not said in his heart, there is no God." You might be saying that with your actions. You might be kind of like halfway reading, like halfway studying, halfway going to camp. And the Most High see that. But you got it. I think the brother Shema Wall dropped out.
That's pretty much all I have.
All right, I think the brother back. Brother Shema Wall, you got it. If you straight now.
Come, my phone was overheating, man. I had to move around.
It's all good. Brothers just giving their last few little precepts on it.
All praise to the Most High, man. But see that phone got overheated, man. The Lord could do whatever He want. That's all to the Lord, man. Right? Because if you ain't sincere in this thing, right, not fearing the Most High God, not doing what He says, it's over with. It's just over with for you. I had an account. That's crazy too. Nah, you ain't bring it out. You brought out number 16. I'm gonna bring out Second Maccabees chapter 6. Right, due to the brother was the last thing I heard. He was saying, like, if you want to go through all that, torture for the Most High, that tells you about a man to feel that man's fear for the Most High God. Right, it's Second Maccabees chapter 6. I'm gonna start at. Let me see. Right, verse 18. It says, "Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of a well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh. But he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained, which such an abomination, spitted forth and came of his own accord to the torment." Right? Right. You got the Greeks trying to make him eat swine's flesh, man. Trying to make him do things contrary towards the Most High God. And let's see how he, obviously we seen, I'm gonna read verse 19 again. It says, "But he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such abomination, spit it forth and came of his own accord to the torment." Right? He rather die gloriously than to be damn stained with swine's flesh, man. Right? And let's see his intentions, right? Verse 30, it says, "But when he was ready," I'm gonna drop down to verse 30. It says, "But when he was ready to die with stripes, he groaned and said, It is manifest unto the Lord that have the holy knowledge, that whereas I might have been delivered from death, I now endure so pains in body by being beaten, but in soul am well content to suffer these things because I fear him." Right? Just feeding on what the brother was saying. He endured, right? He was content to suffer those things because he feared the Most High God. So if you content to suffer the things that the Most High is going to bring on earth just because you fear his name, and you're going to have a mighty reward. But if you're going through the things, you here to suffer, all type of wicked things. I mean, we already know where you headed to, right? But you brothers got it.
Brother Tower, you got something?
I'm gonna bring out one more precept real quick. It's Sirach, 6th chapter. Right, Sirach chapter 6. Right, I'm gonna start at verse. Let me see. 18. It says, "My son, gather instruction from thy youth up, so shalt thou find wisdom till thine own age. Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good fruits." Right, meaning that, right, for with wisdom, it say, "Come unto her that one that ploweth and soweth." Right, you got to make yourself desirable to wisdom. Right, you got to make yourself desirable or wanted. Right, you gotta give a reason to give wisdom a reason to actually want you. Right, everybody know, what I'm saying, you want to be in a relationship, you want to feel wanted. Well, I mean, wisdom wants to feel wanted. Right, you got to show wisdom that you cherish her. You got to show wisdom that you care, and that you got to show wisdom that you're afraid to actually lose her. Right, you got so many brothers. We was talking about this on the soldier call yesterday, like the so-called simp spirit. I got what's simp def. I'm gonna look up simp definition. All right, so like, give me a second. All right, simp definition. Right, a silly or a foolish person. All right, let me find. You gotta go to Urban Dictionary sometimes. Right. It says Urban Dictionary's top definition of a simp. It says someone who does way too much for a person they like. Right. Other definitions of the crowded source online dictionary include a guy that is overly desperate for women, especially if she is a bad person or has expressed her disinterest in him, whom which he continues to obsess over. Right? You got brothers literally, like a sister would be like, "Oh, you know what I'm saying? If you like toes, ha this." And you got brothers in relationships. You got brothers that's gay. You got I'm talking about, man, brothers from every corner of the earth come out and ha her post. Right?
You breaking up.
My wall, you still there?
Yeah, Khan, you still, yeah, I see you still there. Damn. What's going on?
See, that's Satan, man. The brother just go, he was cooking. Yeah, I don't think it's nothing I can really do about that. Hey, Salakia, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Things happen, technical difficulties. The brother might pop back on, right? But Shema Wall, you got any more precepts you wanted to bring out that you was thinking of? Or?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring out second address. He said Satan froze his computer, so he back up. Oh,
you got it. You got it.
I'm address. Matter of fact, Salakia. Bring out Exodus 34. 32. Right. Right. Exodus 32, verse 26. Right. And everybody know this account. All right. When Aaron made them the golden calf and they was celebrating and, just going off. Right. I'm going to start at 26. It says, "Then Moses stood in the gate of," right. So you got to ask yourself, who's on the lower side? Shalom. I got a precept, but I don't know if you want to finish your point. I'll just bring it out. Bring it back out.
You go ahead. You already started.
Gone. Right. So I'm gonna read that again. It says Exodus 32 and verse 26. It said, "Then Moses stood and it gave the camp and said, Who is on the Lord's side? Let him come unto me." And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together unto him. Right. You had Moses, saying, "Hey, who gonna be on the Lord's side?" If so, join me, right? And in the world, you got brothers. If a brother like he can fight, he can he multi-talented and whatever he can do. The majority, he can fight. It's always a Jake. If a brother can fight, he next to him because he don't want to get beat up by him. He wants that image of, yeah, I can fight too. You know what I'm saying? Really just safety. So Moses asked him who's on the Lord's side, and out of fear, the Levites join unto him because they know, right? They already know what's that condemnation if they don't. Read on, it says, and he said unto them, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, put every man his sword by his side, and go in and out from gate to gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbor. Right? So whoever don't join the Lord, hey man, you getting slain. That's right. So if you're not on the Lord's life, man. And that's wisdom, right? Like the brother was going into, but you got to.
So like, yeah, I was trying to find pictures of the sister inbox, man. Look, did I find something? Did I find it? I'm finna send this. Y'all can one of y'all share y'all screens?
I'm off the phone, so I don't know how to.
Damn, brothers can't even share their screens. I'm gonna try to do it off of this jump down. Right, but hey, look, this how brothers be, the sisters.
Talking to themselves.
Niggas being in their inbox having a whole conversation to himself. She ain't replied. Brothers be inboxing sisters talking about, can I just taste it? Brothers will do all this for a woman, for one that is gay. Cause she'd have a man, like the sister have a man, and he talking about, can I just taste it? Do you know what's in there? The remnants of another man. Brothers will do all of that, and then she'll scream. You know, she will show her man. She'll show him. And the whole time they laughing at you together, and you know this. And what do you think that brother that's inboxing her is gonna do? Brother, just guess. Can somebody guess?
Do it again.
He gonna keep inboxing her. He ain't gonna stop, man. Brothers would do all of this for a woman. I'm gonna go back to the definition of simp real fast. Right? It says a guy that is overly desperate for women, especially if she is a bad person or has expressed her disinterest in him, whom which he continues to obsess over her. Brothers will do all of this for a whore, for a dishonorable woman, man. Right? I'm gonna go back into it again. It says, "Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth." You will do all of this work, like ask her to be your Valentine. You would text her happy birthday. You know you're real desperate when you share on your Facebook page, or telling her she's pretty on your Facebook page. You make a whole post about it. That's how you know you're desperate. You would do all of this work for a woman that is a whore. But you won't do the littlest of correct things for wisdom. You will not smoke weed for wisdom. You will not pornography, not watch pornography for wisdom. For the actual beautiful woman, I'm gonna get this precept real fast. Right, I gotta go in the vault for this. Proverbs 11:22. It says, "As a jewel of gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman which is without discretion." Right? Brothers will do all of this for a woman that they deem looks good. You know, once you get around the age, brother's still young. Sam, you might know what I'm talking about. Once you start getting around the age of 27, 28, all of them chicks that was fine in high school don't look fine no more. and they're going to swing right back around and they're going to try to mess with you, man. You was doing all of this for a woman that's going to chase after you to be your second or third wife in 5 years. But you can't give up weed now for wisdom, right? I'm going to read it again. It says, come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, meaning be ready to put in work to impress her, man, right? We always talk about the fear of the Lord. It's keeping the commandments of the Most High, by keeping the Lord's structure, right? But brothers never do it. Brothers are think just because they do something that's not unlawful, that it's the Most High won't get up with the unwise, right? I'm going to get that precept real fast in Psalm chapter 5, right? And every Israelite know this scripture talking about the Lord hates, right? It says, Psalms chapter 5 and verse 5, it says, the foolish shall not stand in his sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. And even though he hates the workers of iniquity, the Most High wants nothing to do with the foolish. Nothing, right? Yet you think just because you make dumb decisions and your dumb decisions ain't unlawful, that the Most High is just with you and everything. Look, the Most High is going to get up with you too. The Most High will judge a fool. You've seen what happened to Nabal. The Most High killed him, right? I'm going to go back to it real fast. I was in Sirach chapter 6 and verse 19. It says, and wait for her good fruits. Brothers been inboxing these sisters for how long? Like, brothers probably had years worth of stuff for likes and comments. She might reply one time and say, thank you. You be like, she fine. Thank you. Can I get your number? Nothing. Hey, how you doing? Good morning, Queen. Good night, Queen. Be safe. I remember to pray this morning. You doing all of this for her fruits and still ain't got them. Let me free you right now. You're never going to get them. Never. But wisdom is attainable. That woman you've been chasing for years, she's never coming to you. Never. She don't like you, right? But wisdom, that opportunity is always on the table. It says, and wait for her good fruits, for thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, right? It says, thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, man. You've been going through all of this for these wicked, evil, what's a more internet appropriate term for a female dog? Wench?
Man.
You get my point, right? It says that thou shalt, I'm going to read it again, thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, but thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon. Wisdom is always ready for it. She always wants you. However, because you don't want to put work in to get her, right? The Most High is going to put work in to give her to you, man. He's going to judge you out. He's going to excuse you, right? You know how many times, especially when like a brother doing something behind closed doors he know he ain't supposed to do, and they get blasted all over everywhere for everybody to see. I remember it was one time, man, I told a sister about the truth. After that, her OnlyFans that got exposed. And she wasn't getting no views, no follower, no money. You've been a whore for free. Or the Lord said, bring not the hire of a whorish woman, but it's not even a hire. You're a free whore, right? And brothers, is you doing all of this over the woman, man, and wisdom is ready to give you her fruits at every corner. You know how Solomon got those 1,000 wives? He didn't get them through being a simp. He was the wisest man on the planet. Yet you can't get one woman through being a dumbass. Well, I'm going to read on. It says, she is very unpleasant to the unlearned. He that is without understanding will not remain with her, man. Right? You can't keep wisdom because you don't have discipline. Right? That's why it's unpleasant. The reason that it's unpleasant, doing the right thing is unpleasant to you, and evil feels amazing. That's what Paul was talking about when he was talking about the spirit and the flesh. Doing evil to you feels amazing, man. And because doing evil to you feels good, the Most High is going to give you what you want. He's gonna make you feel good through pain, through suffering. He's gonna give you that flesh that you've been asking for, right? It says, she will lie upon him as a mighty stone. So, like, I'm gonna drop down straight to my point, right? Verse 24, it says, and put thy feet unto her fetters, and thy neck unto her chain, and bow down thy shoulder, and bear her, and be not grieved with her bond. Wisdom comes with bondage, a bondage not of what you can't do, but of what you should do. Brothers always be looking at it like, oh man, it's telling me what I can't do. I can't do this. I can't. No, nigga. It's not about what you can't do. It's about what you should do. Stop putting bad food into your body. Stop being a whore. You know how HIV is going rambunctious through homosexuals and whores, right? It's not what you shouldn't. It's not that you shouldn't be a whore, but you should be a woman that got the respect for herself. You should be a woman that has discipline. We was talking to an older sister at camp the other day, man, and she was talking about marriage. And she was like, I just been waiting and waiting for him. He the good man. He the best man I ever had, but he won't propose to me. I almost called her out of name, but she lucky she was right. You mean this man is doing everything that the Most High directed him to do for you, and your problem is a piece of metal? And it's not like he gonna get you some expensive ass ring. Says he's going to Walmart. Your engagement ring is going to be a Walmart ring, and you want to mess up what you got good over that? I told this sister, the best thing that this man can ever give you is not a piece of metal. It's himself. And the best thing that you can ever give him is your body. That's the best thing you can ever give him, right? It ain't got nothing to do with some ring that he puts on your finger or some signature that the John Hancock that he gives you. The best thing that you can ever give him is your body. But your value on that piece of metal is more important, right, than your value for your body, which is why you gave him that body first, but you didn't give him the ring first, because you valued that ring more than you value your body. The Lord isn't telling you not to be a whore. The Lord is telling you you should have respect for yourself. That's the bondage, right? It says that it says her wisdom, Salaki, is like bonds unto you, man, right? And that's because you don't want to respect yourself. Because when you look at yourself, you're not somebody deserving of respect, right? You're just somebody that's been touched as a child. You're just a child of a drug addict. Your father didn't love you. Your mother abused you. You're not somebody that's deserving of respect. Oh, one tear. I got one tear for you. Right? Right? You better get under the bondage of wisdom. And you do what the Lord said that you should do. Listen, a revolution isn't always started by what you don't do, but it's about what you do. And it's not about war. It's not about violence. It's not about retaliation, but it's about who you give your love to, who you choose to give your loyalty to, who you choose to separate from, who you choose to marry, right? That's how it started, man. And that's bondage for some people. Sticking by the side of a black woman is bondage to the black man, right? That's why you always want to go and get him a snow bunny, man. I see one more brother at camp with a white woman, I'm going to pluck my beard out, right? Wisdom is like bondage to the foolish man, right? I'm going to keep reading. It says, come unto her with thy whole heart, and keep her ways with all thy power. Search and seek, and she shall be made known unto thee. Right? I'm going to drop down to the point in verse 29. It says, then shall her fetters be a strong defense for thee, and her chains of robe, and her chains are robe of glory. Right? So I'm going to keep reading. I'm going to break it down. It says, for there is a golden ornament upon her, and her bands of purple lace. Right? When you choose to sit through that bondage, right? It's kind of like what jail is supposed to be. Prison is not supposed to be a punishment. Prison is supposed to be your rehabilitation. It's supposed to rehabilitate you. You are making bad decisions, and prison is supposed to fix your mind of those bad decisions. However, the white man is the devil, and they don't really understand rehabilitation, right? Which is why the white man's system continues to get more and more corrupt, right? But wisdom's jail, wisdom's bonds, the pain and suffering that you go through with doing the right thing is going to be glory unto you. And now, whereas you might not have been that sister that was popular in high school, that was loved and wanted in high school, that was the school whore that got all the pleasure that she wanted. Now you're 30 years old and you have a man and not 6 kids, right? Now you're not a drug addict. Now you're not in jail. You're not a felon. You can get a good job, right? Now you have wisdom. You're in the truth, man. So like your brother's got it. So like I might have to slide out. It's a little more I want to touch on. I might have to slide out real fast. Our brothers got it. Shalom. Yabba Shem Shukata.
Shalom. Brother Wall, you got something you want to bring out? If not, I got my closing one.
Just one. Sirach 25.
Come.
Hey, the praise the Almighty, man. See that? It do all these things with no fear of the Lord. Right? The Lord is going to give you wisdom. He's going to give it to you. But hey, due to your acts, clearly you don't want no understanding. You don't think of that. You just want to get destroyed. Sirach chapter 25, verse 10. It says, "Oh, great is he that findeth wisdom, yet is there none above him that feareth the Lord." Hey, so you can have all that wisdom, but hey, it's nothing above him that fear the Lord, man. And that's going to Sirach 19 or 24, right? You can have all the understanding, you can have all this wisdom, but hey, if you don't have to fear the Lord, you're gonna get destroyed. Somebody gonna get destroyed. Knowing damn Daniel chapter 11, Daniel 12, and break it down Revelations. That somebody gonna get cut up for that because they didn't have to fear the Lord. They knew everything, a dark period, but they didn't have to fear the Lord. They didn't know how to love their own brother and things of that manner. Right? Read on. But the love of the Lord passeth all things for illumination. He that holdeth it, whereunto shall he be likened? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of his love, and faith is the beginning of cleaving unto him. If you don't have to fear the Lord, man, obviously you haven't experienced the love of the Most High God, man. You fear him, when you fear him and reverence him, and you will see the mighty things that he will do in your life, right? And he will tell you all the things. He will literally tell you everything what's going to happen. He's looking out for you. Why? I don't know why the so-called black got it all together when they don't. To the person, to the Most High God that created everything, telling you what's to come, what to do, what not to do. I mean, you should fear him because he literally created all things and he has your life mapped out already. So whatever angle you take, he mapped it out already. All right. I mean, I don't know what easy way we can break it down. Because you should fear him. You have no control. Yeah, 1%. But everything is mapped out. Right? I'm gonna read on down. It says, "Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman." Right? And Sirach said, "Give me any plague." Because the Lord can give you anything. He said, "Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman." And those are the judgments of the Lord. The Lord can give wicked woman due to your Lord can the brothers getting into you damn simple. You know, we got anxiety, all these weird things, man. Right? But you gotta
Man. It's like I had my closing precept, but the brother just gave me another one, right? We gotta understand, and this is something that don't get talked about enough, is the Lord chose you and me for a reason. Listen, I ain't come from a rich family, you know what I'm saying, no famous family. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, from the north side. Anybody from here knows that is the slums. Like, I'm talking about shootings every day, kidnapping. I mean, you know, the usual stories for a young Israelite, right? But let's see what Paul said about those types of people. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 26. For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many Albert Einsteins, Nikola Teslas, Isaac Newtons, you know what I'm saying? Who else? The Ben Carsons of the world, you know, the people that we know of for being high thinkers. And it says, for you see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. Prince Harry, you know what I'm saying, king whatever, queen whatever, this celebrity, that's, they don't get picked. The lowest of the low, you and me, we the ones who get picked to bring out this truth. Verse 27, but God hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And God hath chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. Right? How glorious is it if he takes Elon Musk and have him preach the gospel to the billions of people who already know who he is? I mean, is that more impressive than him taking that homeless man who was on that corner begging for 10 years and making him the leader of a camp? He wear his fringes now. I mean, that brother, you used to see him on the corner, holes in his clothes. Now you see him out there with a Bible. His clothes clean, they nice and iron, preaching the word with the fringes busting. You know what I'm saying? He got the head wrap, got the mitri, whatever he got on, out there bringing it out. And you remember this dude from like, that can't be Terry. That can't be Brandon that I used to know, man. You know that woman that used to stand on the corner selling herself? Nah, this can't be Tanya over here with this hair wrap and this long modest dress on. This can't be her. That's how the Most High set it up. I'm gonna drop down to verse 28 right now. I'm gonna get my closing precept. And base things of the world, things which are despised, have God chosen. Yea, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are. He said things that are despised. Who's more hated than a prostitute? Who is more hated in the world than people who gangbang? Who is more hated in the world right now than the Kia Boys? Who is more hated in the world right now than the Israelites in general? I mean, look how they treat us. You hear on this video because you see that. You see how they treat us. And the Most High said, I don't want to get another precept, right? But y'all get my point, man. Right? And now let's see what Joshua understood. Right? And then we're going to close out after that. This is Joshua chapter 24 and verse 14. Now, therefore, fear the Lord. That's the first thing he had to say. Fear the Lord. That man, hey, fear him. Don't play with him. That's what he said. You got to understand, these are Jakes. Let's put it in Jake terms. Don't play with God like he's some type of 304 or something. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no try me button on the Most High. Like it's a toy at Walmart. And reading on, and serving him in sincerity, you got to really, and in truth. In sincerity and in truth, I sincerely believe that I am an Israelite. And that if I do this work properly, if I keep these commandments and keep this faith the way that the Most High want, I can be saved up out of this captivity. I believe that. In sincerity and in truth. And this brother believes that too. And put away the gods which your father served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt, and serve you the Lord. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom you will serve. Choose today. We done made 2 different hour and some change long videos on fear of the Lord, man. What you gonna do? You gonna fear the Lord, you gonna keep playing? You gonna fear the Lord and put them fringes on, or you gonna keep playing? You gonna fear the Lord and stop committing adultery, stop breaking the Sabbath, stop lying on people, stop stealing from people, stop killing, stop coveting, Stop being an idolater. Are you gonna stop doing that and fear the Lord, or are you gonna keep playing? That's what he asked. Straight up and down. Ask yourself that. You gonna keep taking that overtime on the Sabbath because you need it, because you trying, if you in stacking season, you on a 30-day grind. You gonna keep breaking the Sabbath for your 30-day grind. You gonna keep looking at this brother's wife. That's what you gonna keep doing, or you gonna serve the Lord. That's what Joshua want to know. It says, reading on, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land ye dwell. And here's the point. Here's the kicker right here. But as for me and my house, he said, me and mine over here, we will serve the Lord. Over here, I'm gonna tell you right here in this house that you see me sitting in, we serve the Most High over here. It ain't no game, it ain't no questions. I don't care how you feel about it. That Sabbath gets kept here. You feel what I'm saying? Ain't no none of that, because I'm just like Joshua. As for me and my house, we gonna serve the Lord. What you and your house gonna do? You feel what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Me and the brother Shemawal right here, man. Hey, look, we over here with the Lord, man. I don't really know too many other teams that's even recruiting. I don't care what they paying. I don't care what the benefit package looking like. This is a team that I am not gonna ask for a trade from. I don't want. I ask that the Most High franchise tag me on this team. Don't never let me go. Right? But if the brother Shemawal ain't got no more verses he want to bring out, you got anything else you want to bring out, bro?
You had brought it. Yeah, gave me another.
Oh, you got it. You got it. And then you close it up. You got it.
This Romans chapter 9, because the brother was saying the Most High literally chose us to do His work. I mean, if the Most High choose you, He chose you, and if you jam it up, man, it's just, man, you got something coming, and that should give you the fear of the Lord, because He literally gave you. I mean, He showed you some secrets. I mean, being a Hebrew Israelite is a secret. I mean, yeah, it's out in the open, but it's still secretive because people still think that they are who they are. I'm human. I'm indigenous. I'm native to this land. I'm, calling themselves all these type of names, and it's deeper than that. That don't matter. And this is, they treat it like a secret. It is a secret. Yeah, it's out in the open, but don't nobody really want to know. Don't nobody really want to open this door. But the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, literally had the door open. He chose us, said, come on. And we just walked right in. Without having the control of our feet, we just walked right in, right? This is the book, Romans chapter 9, verse 11. It says, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. So the Lord, hey, before you came on this earth, before you were born, the Lord chose you. You're going to know that he's a Hebrew Israelite. He's going to do the work. I see something in him. I want him to do this for me. I want him to throw up sacrifices for me. I want to see him love his brother. I want to see him believing in me. I want to see him have faith. Hey, he chose you. And then for you to just jam it up or go back to your vomit, man, that's a scary thing, man. It's a scary thing. You to just fall in the cares of this world. You let the thorns and thistles choke you up. You get offended by tribulation and things. That's madness. That's madness. You getting upset by the tribulations and you let the sun scourge you. You get offended when the Most High building you up. Where's your fear at? Because if you getting offended by the things you're going through, that means that you don't need nothing to work on. You the elect. You the elect. You got it all together. You just need to get translated. You Enoch. That's basically what you're saying, right? But the Lord chose you. The Lord chose you. So if you jam it up, hey man, you know what I'm saying? That's on you. But if the Lord chose you and you doing his work, you realize like, hey, I can't mess this up. Because he literally giving me a reward. All I got to do is endure and have faith in him and believe. It's deeper than that. But that's the rooted thing, is the fear of the Most High God. Right? And with that, I ain't got nothing else, man. Through the Spirit.
I know I said that was my last one, but you brothers keep bringing out points, man. Okay, I promise y'all two. Look, how many verses? I don't want a lot of y'all. I got 3 short verses. They all in the same chapter. I got y'all. All right. Hey, the spirit is flowing. We gotta let it flow, man. But this is my last one, right? This is Romans chapter 8 and verse number where I want to start. Verse 35. Right. This is exhortation for all of us, man. We in this truth, man. It's hard. We going through day-to-day things. I mean, it's hard enough to live life, but we on the truth. We in the truth on top of that. So it's twice, it's 3 times, 10 times as hard for us, right? So I want to exhort y'all before we get off this class, off of this video, right? Is Romans chapter 8 and verse 35. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword? Shall the worst of the worst things separate from the love of Christ? That's what he's asking. I'm going to drop down to verse number 38. For I am persuaded, this is Paul speaking now. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any creature shall be able to separate us from the love of Yahweh, which is Hamashiach Yahweh our Lord, right? And with that, right, we're going to close up on the fear of the Lord, man. Ain't nothing going to separate us from the love of the Most High, from the love of Christ. As long as we do them things, as long as we fear him, we don't have nothing to worry about, man. With that, I'm going to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. Shalom.
Shalom.